E39 cooling system overhaul, and as you can see, this mess that we managed to create, we just took everything off that possibly could be taken off. We did a little bit of cleaning, just a little bit, the contact areas for the thermostat, the water pump. We cleaned the engine block, and as you can see, we took the old coolant hardlines off, and as always, this end will almost always break and it will stay inside the both holes here and there. We managed to take it out. We basically cleaned the holes from the inside using Scotch-Brite and a Dremel tool with very fine bar brush. And now we're gonna start with assembly process. First thing that we're gonna install are the coolant hardlines. Those are from Febi. I installed a bunch of them on various E46s and now on E39, and I didn't have any problem with them. Just one potential problem is that this hole won't exactly line up with the hole in the block, but you just need to force it a little bit and then the bolt will go in the threaded hole in the block, and that's it, and those connectors are fine. We are going to use an RTV silicone right here. I mean, I'm not a fan of using RTV everywhere, but this is the place that I don't want to get a leak from, because you would have to repeat the process once again. I don't want to. So I'm gonna RTV this in the front, and as I will go in, it will smear the RTV around the O-rings and it will create a better seal, just to be safe. Yeah, this spacer, yeah, it's inside, nice and tight. Now I'm gonna install a bolt that secures the hard coolant line here. It's hard to see, but it's in there. Now a small nut that holds the front of the line in place. Coolant hard lines are in. I fastened one of the microphones or the knock sensors back. You shouldn't over tighten them. And now I'm gonna use zip ties to hold the cables to the hard lines themselves. Now they will be white zip ties, and as you may know, the original zip ties from the factory were blue. When you find blue zip ties on those coolant hard lines, there is 99% chance that it is original from the factory. Yeah, I managed to cut myself on one of the studs, so be careful.
Your one is already patched up.
Yeah, when you cut yourself in garage, you have to use the ghetto medicine. I'm gonna create another spot for cutting yourself. The next step of the operation would be taking a new oil filter housing gasket, putting it on the oil filter housing, and putting the housing on the block and tightening. We cleaned the channel, press it in. There are some areas where it gets more narrow, and that's where it holds, and you need to massage or press it inside like this all around. Now we are ready to install it on the car. I need to get through this mess of wires and hoses, like so. It's supposed to go there like so. Yeah. There are two locating dowel pins on the block, which assures the proper position of this. And really important note, while doing this, you need to clean all 6 holes in the block. Be careful, clean it really good. I used brake cleaner, it's under pressure, and really sprayed it inside those holes so they are really clean. Otherwise you will strip the threads. I've tightened all 6 bolts, and now we're gonna proceed to installing a new water pump. There is an O-ring. We're gonna lube it using coolant. This is the concentrated coolant, so it's a little bit thicker. Water pump in and just press in towards the engine. But easier said than done. It works like a charm. Them in between them, so that I won't stress just the two of them. And just to be sure, you should try to spin it with your hand to ensure that the impeller inside doesn't touch the front of the engine case, because this happened to me on my engine and I had to grind down a bit of the impeller from the back side on a piece of sandpaper on a block of wood. I used this exact INA water pump now for the thermostat. We went with Mahle. Let's say they are good. We used it on your E46, I think. Yeah, it works. I've got the Valor one, and Valor one has a heating element from the front using bayonet lock and O-rings, and it leaks. There is a chance that it will leak, but we will see. For the bolts themselves, I'm gonna use a ceramic paste so that they won't oxidize inside the block, and it's better to use something like this. So yeah, and the biggest one, gaskets ready inside. It comes with the thermostat, clean surface, and just put it in, and that's it. This biggest one is here just temporarily because there is an engine bracket for the engine crane. Make sure that you won't squeeze the cables in between the thermostat and the cylinder head. Now I have to remove the 8mm, the bigger one, and it goes like this, around the Venus unit, and like a sandwich. Like so. Now the final stage is would be to install the starter motor, install the CCV, the intake manifold. Really important thing to note, we're gonna clean the lipstick tube, especially the bottom portion of it, since it's clogged, and I didn't do it the last time we had the manifold off. Yeah, it's my bad. And we're gonna replace the O-ring that sits around the lipstick tube so that the car won't have vacuum leaks. And that's it.